Building up to Jurassic World Rebirth's release, the Distortus Rex, or D-Rex, was being heavily used as a tool to promote and market the film as this new, terrifying creation that would blow audiences away. The original reaction to the D-Rex was controversial amongst fans, and now, even after the movie's been out, the big question still remains: did the D-Rex deliver in the end? The answer to that is something entirely up to each and every individual who sits down and gives Rebirth a watch, but there is a loud reaction from some fans who were not satisfied with the finale of Rebirth, in which the D-Rex takes center stage and, well, doesn't do all that much. But the ending to Rebirth was almost entirely different, and it would have given some fans the big dinosaur face-off that they wanted. The D-Rex came super close to facing off with this new hoss of a Tyrannosaurus Rex, and this video will tell you why that scene was cut out from the movie. If you haven't seen the movie yet, here's your spoiler warning. In the movie, as soon as the D-Rex appears, it disappears over and over again in classic Gareth Edwards fashion, something Godzilla 2014 fans will either love or hate. It manages to destroy a helicopter, kill the film's bad guy, and then, well, it mostly just walked ominously towards our human character Duncan before disappearing into the darkness. But there was a time during production that the D-Rex almost had a big battle with the T-Rex. From the little bit of information given, this beast battle would have had the T-Rex showing up at the exact perfect time to save our human characters and get into an epic brawl with the D-Rex. During this battle, there was a good chance that Duncan was going to be killed, as his fate was also thrown around well into production. In the end, the Tyrannosaur was going to come out victorious and a clear winner in the battle, as the D-Rex was going to be killed with no help from any other dinosaurs. Something that the earlier Jurassic films loved to show. The humans somehow would have found a way to avoid this fight and would have left the island still, likely with a T-Rex giving them a mighty salute as they sped away. This would have pleased the fans who both wanted to see the T-Rex win outright in a battle with no help, making up for the past decisions of nerfing the Tyrannosaur to always need backup and a WWE-style comeback story, and the people who just wanted to see more of the Distortus Rex. Ultimately, this wasn't the ending Gareth Edwards and the team wanted to go with, and here's why. This was the decision that Gareth Edwards allegedly struggled with during post-production while he was editing the film. In an article with USA Today, he says that he began to question the choice of not bringing a Rex in to save the day and stick in line with Jurassic World, Dominion, and for that matter, Jurassic Park. These thoughts caused Edwards to go and ask around the team working on Rebirth if they thought it would be worth it to go back and reshoot the finale, adding in the big fight with the Tyrannosaur. And here's where most of the team told Gareth no, led by the film's visual effects supervisor, who allegedly was the one who talked Gareth out of the ending battle, saying, "That's what happens in all the movies, Gareth. The T-Rex turns up and saves the day and everyone's expecting that. I was so pleased when you didn't do that." With this advice, Edwards then agreed that not including a finale fight scene would allow Rebirth to feel more unique and let the finale fight trope take a break for a little bit of time. Whether you agree with this or not, there is some truth to it in that the fights in Jurassic films, specifically the Jurassic World movies, had started to make the franchise have this superhero-like quality that took away from the fact that these are supposed to be just animals doing what they do. But here's another question: do Jurassic movies always have to have dinosaur finale fights, or just fights in general? Well, until Jurassic World, there were actually very few dino versus dino action scenes in the franchise. There were glimpses at battles like the raptors attacking the Rex at the end of Jurassic Park, but I wouldn't really classify that as an actual fight. And there was the infamous yet brief fight to the death between the Bull Rex and the Spinosaurus from Jurassic Park 3. But it wasn't until the big battle between the Indominus Rex, Rexy, and Blue that dinosaur finale fights started to become routine in the franchise. Ultimately, the main concern for a Jurassic film is dinosaurs interacting with humans and the craziness that would come from that. So no, fights aren't necessarily needed in every Jurassic movie, but that doesn't mean they're not badass and enjoyable. Epic fights between Earth's mightiest of beings is something that will fascinate the minds of so many people till the end of time, and that's why when the finale fights were introduced to the Jurassic franchise, a whole new wave of viewers grew to expect and love these scenarios. And that's why you might be seeing a bunch of comments of people complaining that there wasn't a finale fight scene. There's no denying that seeing confrontations of this scale is super cool, and to this day I still remember the goosebumps and pure excitement I got while watching Rexy take on the Indominus with Blue by her side. To this day, that's one of the best monster or dinosaur fights you will ever see in a movie, and even though there's little chance that a raptor would ever tag team with a tyrannosaur, the idea that these more close to natural animals teamed up to defeat the unnatural creature made this scene even more impactful. But Jurassic was never about dinosaur battles, as epic as they are. Would a finale fight have been better for the D-Rex? Even if it was to be killed, would a battle with the Tyrannosaur have helped the beast get more of an overall approval from the audience instead of the 50-50 of either loving it or hating it that you're seeing right now? Maybe. We never really got to see the D-Rex do much of anything other than eerily move around our human characters until having the one big action shot where it attacked the chopper. And as awful as it must have been to be this guy, and I'm sure it also sucked to go the way Krebs did at the end of the movie, I've heard from various people both online and the real world now that they didn't think the D-Rex was scary enough, or did much of anything enough to warrant them respecting it as the big bad villain of the movie. A close friend of mine actually said the words, "I just wish it could have been more scary like the Indominus Rex." And, well, there is some weight to that opinion. Although the Indominus was given an entire movie to build that tension, while the D-Rex, I don't think it even had 5 minutes of screen time, and was never supposed to be the focal point of this story, so you can't entirely put all the blame on the creature not living up to expectations. We never really got to see what this thing was capable of. But this is the side effect of using the D-Rex as a hype machine leading up to the movie. Everyone thought it was going to be this big bad thing that all the Spinosauruses were going to have to take down, or a T-Rex was going to have to fight it. Everyone was just waiting to see how this thing was going to get killed. And when it eventually got to that point in the movie, it didn't really do much at all. We never even got to see this thing run off like the Spinosaurus did in Jurassic Park 3. There was no closure for this dinosaur. All we know is just Duncan escaped. We don't know how or what happened to the D-Rex. Regardless of your opinion of the ending of this movie, the D-Rex probably didn't need an ending finale to become a success. Sure, they could have done more, but it doesn't necessarily mean there needed to be a big battle at the end. And overall, the franchise doesn't need to have dinosaur fights to become financial hits, clearly. But it still would have been nice to see a little more of the D-Rex doing something, and I'm still waiting to see the Rex win in a decisive fashion. They could have done it at the end of this movie, but ultimately they didn't, and I'm okay with that. Tell me how you guys feel. On that note, everyone, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you think that the T-Rex and the D-Rex should have had a battle, make sure to tell me down below and like this video. This has been Jacob, and I'll see you in the next one.